Hello guys and welcome to a new video. It is Sunday, 2 days after we recorded the other video. We got mail right there, right next to that, right next to the Mustang. The alternator finally came. So that's what we're gonna install today. I was literally waiting all morning for this package to come. So I have enough time to install it before work. I also bought some headlight restoration. That's gonna happen in the same video. So we're gonna restore those headlights like I said in the last video. If you haven't seen that video, you better watch it. Here is the headlight restoration stuff that we're gonna be using. Okay, so here we go. We got 3M headlight restoration system thingy. I didn't need to buy the whole thing because I still have like this, the polishing pad and the mount for the drill, but I don't have any of the sand discs, the sanding discs, so I had to buy this. And of course we're gonna use some clear coat. There is, I think, 2 packages in one, pretty much for one headlight set. I'm gonna use 2 packages on each side of the headlight to give it more. The more clear coat you use, the better, the longer it lasts, and the clearer the headlight is going to look like. I'm gonna throw all that stuff in the car because that's probably something we're gonna do tomorrow. For you in this video, for me tomorrow if it doesn't rain. If not, it's gonna happen Sunday and the video is gonna be late. Okay, first let's unbox this nice alternator. It literally is just an alternator, so I don't even know why I'm unboxing it. Giant ass box for a small alternator. I just got the 130 amp SVE alternator. I didn't want to get a remanufactured alternator. I wanted to get a brand new alternator because this is gonna be the 3rd alternator I'm gonna put in this car in less than 3 years, and I'm just not gonna deal with that again. So here we got a brand new, that thingy looks brand new too, alternator, which hopefully gets rid of my issue. So my issue is not really the alternator doesn't work or is broken. My alternator just never charged the car enough. So the battery was always at like 50%, and you could see that when you drive around, the voltage would drop, but the car still runs, of course. So that's not an issue. But I got it checked 2 weeks ago and they were like, yeah, you better get it replaced because it does not charge. It keeps the car running without using the battery, but it doesn't charge the battery. So it's just a weak alternator. So this is not gonna be an in-depth tutorial on how to replace an alternator on this Mustang. There's enough videos for that already. So of course, at first we're gonna have to unplug the battery. Also a nice thing to have when you have hood pins, you can just put your negative pole in there. Pretty much just have to loosen the belt, which is pretty easy. Let me show you. We have the right here, that thingy. We just have to push it to the right, the ratchet. So that's what we're gonna do now. And take off the belt. Got that loose. Now we gotta unbolt these 4 screws right here. Is it zoomed in all the way? Yeah. So there's 4 screws. This lens is not good to show you close up, but we have these 4 screws that we have to unscrew. Then we have this screw that we have to unscrew, and this connector to disconnect right here. And oh, it's focusing on something, that's why. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, no, we got those 2 bolts too, which they don't have to be unscrewed, they just have to be loosened up, and then you can lift up the alternator. So I've done that so many times, I already know how everything works. There you go. Got the old alternator out. It's literally not been here. Oh damn, we had some dirt doublers growing right here. That's great. It hasn't been in here for long. As you can see in the back, it's still clean, and it's a motor crash. Interesting. Well, it didn't last for long. I mean, it's still running, it just doesn't run well. It's the same process, just backwards. Now we plug the battery back in because we are pretty much done on this one now. That was fairly easy, as you can see. Now I'm gonna get my key and we should be good to go. I don't know why my neighbors are freaking screaming around over there. Like it's working. I have like a little voltage thing in my car right in here that shows me 14.1, so that's perfect in idle. Usually it went down to 12. It never hit 14, it was like at 12. So that definitely works perfect. So the next thing would be the headlights, because everything works fine here. So let's jump right into the headlights. Okay, we are back. It has been 2 days because it was raining yesterday, so I couldn't do anything on my day off. So we are going to do it today. Let's see how far we get. I showed you in the last video already. This looks very messed up. So we are trying to fix all this. And I'm gonna show you how to do it. First off, here's the things you need. A drill. I'm using this small drill right here, that's good enough. I have an extra battery because I know I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna start with a 200 grit because of the rough edges right here, because this is gonna take forever if I use something finer. So 200, go into 600, and then we have this headlight restoration system, like they call it from 3M, and that one has even more different grits of sandpapers in it, as you can see here. It doesn't tell me what kind of grits, but it probably says it on the paper. And then we're gonna use clear coat after we're done with the headlights. Let's see if it gives me some grid numbers on it. Okay, so oh yeah, it does. So we start with a 500 grid. Hard to see. You can see the 500 a little bit. So it starts with a 500 grid, going up to a 800 grid. It's a little bit easier to see. Here's the 800, there you go. And then we are going to I think it's a 1500? Oh no, it's a 3000. It's a 3000. If you have some deeper scratches after 800, you can also go to a 1500 and just wet sand it a little bit. If that's not an option, the 3000 is gonna work too. Make sure you use some water. I'm gonna get me a spray bottle and put some water in it. That's gonna make the whole process a lot easier, smoother, and it doesn't mess up the sanding discs as fast, because you can literally wash them back out while you do it. But first we start with the 220 grit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this motion. We're not gonna do a circular motion. You wanna do a straight motion. I'm probably gonna open up the hood. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's see. Maybe I can give you a little bit more of a higher perspective. Starting with a 220, let me get a spray bottle. Okay, we got some spray bottle water now. Just in a regular, cheap spray bottle. I don't use it on a 220 grit because that's a little too rough for water. That's something you use for the higher grids, starting at 600. Get your 220 paper. I'm always rip them in half because you don't need this big of a paper. Now, yes, this is gonna hurt. But I promise you it's gonna look a lot better after this is done. So what we're gonna do, nice and even, sanding. As you can see, a lot is coming off. Now, you guys, this is my car, so I don't really worry about it. Tape these corners up. Tape all around the car so you don't hit it. I'm probably gonna do it later on when I go over it with the drill, because you don't wanna hit the paint because you're gonna sand the paint. So put some masking tape all around the headlight so you don't touch any of the car. But for right now, that's okay. Good, that is the first round. I'm gonna spray it down with water and dry it off with a microfiber towel and see where we at. Okay, so now we're pretty much looking for any uneven things, like right here. You see these little things. This is all needs to be sanded off. So this is gonna be a tedious job. These cracks, I don't think we're gonna get rid of them. I can try, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we will see what I can do about this. Okay, so I did a second round. I could go more into detail. There's still in the corner right there. That's still looking, yeah, well, it's really hard to get out. I'm hoping the drill sandpaper is gonna get rid of that. And if not, even then, it's already a lot better. So now we're gonna wipe it back down, and then we go to the 600 wet sand grit. And you know when you did a good job, when it feels a lot smoother. It's gonna feel smoother and smoother the more you do it. And then when you dry it off, you shouldn't see any more big scratches. Now, what I also would recommend, get one of those sanding bricks where you can put the sandpaper in. I have one of those too. I don't feel like using it right now, but that would make your job probably a lot easier. Good. Now we're gonna spray it down, wipe it off. Now we let it dry for a second to see where we need to sand some more. But these actually sand down pretty good because I did this before like a year ago. Okay, actually we're looking pretty even. So this might actually be good already. I don't feel any more big scratches. So we can go to the first drill sanding paper. Now is also a good idea to tape up all around your car, so you don't scratch your paint or sand your paint or whatever. First one, 500 grit, spray it with water. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, now we're gonna wipe it down, see where we at. After a while you should see a difference how the water also sits on the headlight. Good, so now we're just pretty much looking, do we see any more rough spots? Or is everything the circular sandpaper motion? I do see some clear coat right here that we might be able to get rid of. There's nothing in the front of the headlight, so that's good. The sides, I mean, these corners are really hard to get off, especially because I don't want to damage the plastic around it, the rubber thingy. And down here is really hard to get to. Now that it dries off, I see there's definitely some more rough spots right here, so I'm gonna try to get on this part a little bit more. So let's get on that. Okay, now the only rough spot is on the corner and down here. So, but it's really hard to get down here, so I'm probably gonna just skip this part. Okay, so now we got the 800 grit sandpaper, so get it wet again, like always. Now we pretty much just wipe it down and see what it looks like. It's always the same procedure if you didn't realize yet. So I'm gonna keep doing this one. I'm gonna go over it with the 800 one more time, and then I'm gonna do the 3000, and I guess we're gonna see us again when we go to the polishing part, because all these steps are the same. So yeah, we'll be right back. Okay, I'm done with the 800 grit. Now we go into the 3000 grit. I thought I had a 1500 grit disc, but I don't. So we go into the 3000, water and everything. What I'm gonna add is, if you have headlights that don't look as bad, you could literally go to this one. They sell a redo kit where there's only this 3000 grit and some polishing compound in it, or rubbing or whatever. If that works for you, that works for you too, but always make sure to put clear coat on it. So now I'm going over it with the 3000 grit, and then we'll be back. Good, the 3000 grit is done. This is what it looks like now. This process shouldn't take long, because the better you do it, the faster you're gonna get rid of the sanding marks, I guess, what you call them, scratches. So now we got this thing. And they gave us some rubbing compound right here, one for each. No, never mind, it's only one. So you're supposed to do both headlights at the same time. It's just rubbing compound, so I'm gonna use my own rubbing compound. I'll be right back. So here's what I use. It's also 3M perfected rubbing compound #1. That's what I use first. And for the second step, I use perfected machine polish. And after this one, we're gonna put the clear coat on. So now I'm gonna put some water on this, because I don't like polishing dry. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. To me, it kind of does. So I put a little bit of water on it, not too much. And then you use #1. So here we got a little bit. Rub it in first, because trust me, it's gonna fly everywhere. And if you don't want to wash your car, which you kind of have to anyway if you look down here, but if you don't want to wash your whole car, you do it slow. Okay. Now we're just gonna wipe it dry. There we go. So this is what we look like now. Already it looks a lot better than the beginning. These scratches came out really good. Yeah, I didn't do the other side yet, so you can see the difference. It's kind of yellow, especially on the outside. This one, not as yellow at all. It's gonna make a much more difference once we put the clear coat on. So now we're gonna go to the #2 polish. We get to polishing again. Okay. Dry it off again. There we go. That's looking a lot better. I don't even think you can see a difference. Not really. It is in person it looks a lot clearer. I know there's condensation in here because they're probably not sealed all the way, but I don't really care. So now I'm gonna get me another microfiber towel. Make sure everything is clean before you put the clear coat on. I also only have enough time to do one headlight today, so I'm gonna finish this up. You guys know the process now. I don't need to do the second one as well. There you go, but I'm gonna show you the finished process, finished product after we got the clear coat on. Now to the clear coat. I already showed you what I use. Quick headlight clear coat, very easy to use. really love it. There's another 3000 grit sandpaper, so actually you only need to buy this if you already have some rubbing compound. I don't. I needed the sanding discs. Between every coat, 15 minutes. Actually, you're supposed to use 2, but since I only did 1 headlight, I'm just gonna do it the way they want us to. So they say don't unfold it, I think. Oh yeah, do not unfold the wipe. So like you take it out of the bag, you're just gonna go over it, wipe it down. Make sure you wash your hands after this. Get all the corners. Now we wait 5 to 15 minutes and then we can do the second coat. Good, well, we are done officially. This is what it looks like. Very nice. I put 3 clear coats on there. 1 is still drying. This is the other side. Of course, that one didn't get done yet. I don't have time today to do the second one because, as you saw, this is a very time-consuming process. So yeah, but that's pretty much all you gotta do. You don't have to go as much into detail if your headlights are not that bad. Like I have an example for you on this car. As you can see, it's just a little hazy. So for this one, you might actually be good by just sanding it down with some 3000 grit and some rubbing compound and then put some clear coat on it. Just make sure to put clear coat on it. That's very important because otherwise you're pretty much just damaging your clear coat that's already on the headlight when you sand them down. So they're just gonna turn hazy again after like what, 2 months? So put some clear coat on. The more clear coat you put on, the longer they last. I have 3 coats on there now. I will see how long that's gonna last. That's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna have to spray this off real quick. So yeah. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys liked this video. And I guess we will see us in the next one. Bye bye.